Hello, my love. Welcome to the Capricorn full moon reading for all signs. The timestamps will be below for your personal rising sign, but feel free to be intuitively guided, considering it is Cancer season, to whatever reading is calling you the most, though the ascendant sign will be the most accurate. I do feel like we have been needing some of this water to come over us. And with this full moon at a 1 degree Capricorn, there's a lot of good things building here. This is actually a very positively charged moon, even though Capricorn can be seen as such a karmic planet with that emphasis on Saturn. The Saturn being in Pisces right now, there is like this intuitive pull, all the trines with the Cancer in the air, Mercury, Sun, Venus. We are feeling a flow of creativity, a flow of heart-led compassion, a sense of tribalness and togetherness, and also you can feel collectively that we are all being pulled to express our light, to express our gifts, to express love a little bit more openly than maybe we necessarily are used to, or maybe even being invited to do so. We're going to start with the ascendant sign Aries. If you want to go to your timestamp, the timestamps are below. Hello, my Aries rising. Thank you so much for coming here, my love, because this full moon will be happening in your 10th house of career, and it's happening again at that 1 degree point. If you did listen to the intro of this, and with that 1 degree point in your career center, it almost feels like you are starting on a new leg, on a new foot, maybe even getting a promotion or having a new business idea, or maybe something is just literally budding from the soil. Like it's still deep in the soil, this idea, this business plan, this career, but it's time to let it grow through nourishing it, right? All of this Cancer is happening in your 4th house. So you have this 4th house, 10th house transit happening where you're kind of feeling this pull between career and home, privacy and public. With this full moon, though, you can be assured that being in the public eye right now is a safe thing. Maybe even making a statement, or if you have deleted an account, maybe reopening your account online. It could also mean public speaking, or potentially just becoming a little bit more public, but in a way that's from a place of like you have something to show for it. You're not being public just to be public for the sake of being public. It's because there's something that you're proud of to show, or something that you have either it's the beginning phases of this thing, or because it's at a perfected state that you are ready and feeling this sense of groundedness to share it with others. It could be a project, a film, a photography project. It could be you were applying to a bunch of jobs and you finally got the job and now you want to talk about it, or maybe even you have completed a program to get to this point, but it does feel like this is something that you have worked on for some time, maybe even years, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be career based, though generally it can be, but depending on the planets in this house and the way that it's squaring your the 10th house squares your ascendant, it could be something that you're not even used to sharing about you. So maybe you actually are naturally a career person. Maybe you have Mars in the 1st house, or maybe even Saturn in the 1st house, and career and success come very natural to you, and that's something that you just naturally show in your personality, your achievements, what you strive for. But if it's not necessarily something like that, it could be something like even slightly emotional. Maybe it's time to show a loyalty, to take a stand publicly, like I stand with this person. There could be some kind of conflict where you need to stand up for somebody, or even yourself, and kind of make a statement of, this is where I stand, this is how it's going to be, and this is where I'm at, so you will respect that and I will respect you, type of energy. So I'm sending you strength. I feel like you are very strong. You are very, I looked quickly at my bookshelf, and what really stood out to me of all the titles is Peaceful Warrior, and I'm just feeling like you are a peaceful warrior. You know how to stand your ground, but still keep at the forefront of the battle, and be the leader, be the person that knows when to make the next move. So you know when to make the next move, you know how to build yourself. And also congratulations on whatever you have been working on building that's coming into fruition. Really happy to hear about that. Taurus ascendant. This full moon is happening in your ninth house. So you're going through a third house, ninth house access with all the Cancer in your third, but we're going to focus on the full moon. Of course, if you want to go deeper into what the Cancer third house means, you can do a little research about that. It's actually a really receptive way of communicating, but we're not going to get into that right now. I will make a separate Mercury series though, and a third house series potentially to support you on that, because I just feel like, you know, Taurus rising, it's almost like you have things to say or the questions that you have been having, but it's finally coming to the forefront of like, it's time to speak. It's time to take action. It's time to look at things from a brighter perspective, from a lighter perspective. And you can give yourself that. Truly, you can give yourself that, because through all of the trial and tribulation that, you know, may have ensued, you know, with the changes in finances, because of course you have Mercury in the second house, and with all that Gemini in the last season, a lot of your financial or like the stabilization ways might have changed, or you might have had to look at things a different way, just to kind of get back into your abundance mindset. But with the full moon at this 1 degree, peaking in the ninth house, is really time to get on the horse and just ride it out, because you are literally coming into a sunset point. It is literally feeling like right now you could be a philosopher. You have some kind of story to tell, some kind of internal battle that you have won. You have not necessarily overcome the battle totally, but it is feeling like what's really kept you grounded and safe is kind of your existential beliefs in a higher power, because that belief in the higher power, in that there's a structure to the universe, that's really what's giving you a level of comfort right now mentally. Because something you need to understand, and I'm going to kind of lay this knowledge down on you, Taurus, because I'm feeling like this is kind of what you're needing right now, is that there is a higher power. So whenever you're coming into that doubt, whenever you're coming into that fear, I want you to choose faith right now in this time. And I want you to see how much farther that takes you than the fear, because that faith and that belief is supercharging your life force and helping you build a more stable reality, even though faith can seem unstable. I think that's the contradictory thing, is because you can't see it, should you really believe it? And I understand as an earth rising, it can be hard to believe in things you can't see, but trust me, it's a lot more concrete than you think it is. Think of the number 1 as a seeding point to totality. So I want to break that down for you, because I know that's a little esoteric or a little bit kind of poetic, honestly, but think of it like this. You are the only one that is in charge of your human destiny. Yes, you do have that responsibility, but you do have a grounded support of angels, ancestors, and beings of light surrounding you that you have pre-agreed to going into this journey with their aid around you. So please call upon that support. It's a lot more grounded than you maybe necessarily feel that it is, and it's a lot more comforting there. It may even be a grandfather that you can reach out to for guidance, for comfort, or maybe there is a healing with the grandfather by realizing that you have surpassed a certain karmic cycle with through your patriarchal lineage. Okay, Gemini rising, hello. So this full moon is going to be going through your 8th house, and this is always a mystery house, as you'll notice with my readings. When we talk about the 8th house, things get a little bit murky and deep and sometimes convoluted, right? Things will take a turn, and money may have been received recently, in the past weeks, or in the past week, or even on this day. You may receive a check, money, a gift, or some kind of aid to your side that you didn't expect. I am feeling like this is a positive thing that you needed, because it's feeling very unsure. There's feeling like, well, if I go into this depth, if I face this karmic cycle, who will I be if I face it? Who will I be if I shine light onto it? Is this part of me still lovable? The part of me that's still, rooted subconsciously to certain traditions, certain paternal patterns, certain maternal patterns, because there is a level of depth that's being invited here to embrace and to shine light onto, because not because you're being punished by some kind of force. It's more of like, you need to ground yourself, because we're going into, this Cancer season, and it is happening in your second house. And when you are not grounded emotionally, it affects your stability, it affects your money, it affects the checks, it affects your work, it affects your purpose, it affects, how you relate to others. And, if you're coming from this like, well, I'm only going to be friends with him or her, or I'm going to be connected to him or her because it gets me something, it's really looking at that unconscious pattern of, what is this going to get me though? And what is this not getting me? It's kind of deepening into that and looking into that murky waters of sometimes how our ego can be very center stage, but it's literally behind us. Like, it's like the spotlight is shining from the front, and because you're at the center stage, the spotlight is shining from front, but if you look behind you, the shadow is right there. It's on stage with you, right? And so you can't run from it, but you can give it a little bit of acknowledgement, because there's nothing to be scared of, right? There's nothing to necessarily shame yourself for. And I do want to explain that there is a level of guilt here. There's a level of guilt that well, my mother expected this from me, my father expected this from me, or I'm not this, or I thought I was going to be this. There's a lot of expectations of what life was going to be, or what life should be on a material level, on a material sense, on a career sense. And those are kind of breaking down and breaking open for you to set a new path of what that could be for yourself, and potentially if you have children, or if you want children, what that could be for your children. So you doing this deeper work is not just for you, it's for those that you love as well. Okay, Cancer ascendant. Hi. I hope that you are feeling good with all of you having your birthday really soon and your solar return. The full moon will be in your 7th, so there is an emphasis on the weight of relationships. Relationships can carry a little bit of a weight, as in there's consequences to who you surround yourself, who you talk to, who you believe in, who you invest your time in, even co-workers, neighbors, all these people. Every single person has this kind of effect on you, and not just because you're a sensitive person, right? But because you're in your relationships are supposed to build you, right? The people, and this is a really beautiful thing to manifest and to work with, is the people around you should want to see you win, should want to protect your best interest, should want these things, because that is what not only you are worthy of, but what you are honestly entitled to in this lifetime. And I don't like to use that word entitled necessarily, because it can come with a dual complex, right? Because entitlement can sometimes block our blessings. But in this case specifically, I want to say that there is a level of entitlement you have to having people around you that carry that best interest energy. They have benevolent intentions with you. They want to see you build your life, build your career, build your purpose, and they want to either do it with you or they're inspired by you, or you and they want to do it beside you, with you, around you. There's just this level of building together, not necessarily because of each other, but it can be because of each other, but it's because the energy and the momentum is going this way. And it takes years sometimes, right? And I would take notice too, Cancer. There's certain people that have been in your life for years, and no matter how tumultuous those relationships have been, or no matter who, because sometimes friends fight, sometimes family fight, but if you can find resolve, if the intention at the end of the day is love and that person is still there providing some kind of level of support, emotional support, mental support, wanting to see you win, trying to see you grow, I want you to really acknowledge that and bring gratitude to your heart for the people that have been there long term, because I'm telling you, the people that stick it out for the years of your journey, those are the people that really want to see you win, because a relationship with you is deep. A relationship with you is very stable, and you do provide sometimes this space of emotional like lean on me. Like, you can lean on me. It's okay. I'm here. Lean on me. I'm your rock. I'm your safe place. Like, this is like kind of who you are to some people, and this can also be a level of kind of breaking free from the people maybe that were those long-term relationships. Like, if you're going through a breakup or a divorce, which hopefully you're not, but if it's coming to that full culmination for you, you can kind of have gratitude for any endings as well, and letting the light kind of clear yourself, and kind of clearing that version of you that may be in some kind of relationship pattern or relationship toxicity pattern, or even congratulating yourself, because this is honestly more of I'm feeling a really big celebration energy, as if, like, it's a great, like, you really have changed, and you really are changing, Cancer. I'm just feeling with, like, all of the solar return energy for you, like, it's just feeling like you really have changed, and you have changed the cycle, and you are choosing better people to be around you. You are choosing more love to surround you. You are choosing more self-love, and it's just feeling like, of course we have these ties and these karmic agreements with people from different lifetimes and soul contracts, and people come and go at times, but you have been so supported through all of it, and sometimes more than you know, on a divine and friend and family community level. So I hope that you acknowledge that, as well as let whatever needs to clear at the same time. Let that nuance in. Leo ascendant, hello. This Capricorn full moon is happening in your 6th house. And all this Cancer energy in your 12th, I'm sure you're feeling it. It's deep. It's watery. If you don't have any water placements in your main planets, it could feel uncomfortable. Otherwise, this might just be what you needed, like a sensitive little spiritual hug from the cosmos, if you're willing to receive it. But most importantly, you're receiving the benefits, the health benefits of all of the health changes that you have made, or the things that you've done over the years, or at least over the last 6 months, that have accumulated and helped your health in this present moment. It doesn't feel like there's too much stress, or maybe there is. It could be a mixture of things, because I'm speaking so generally to so many people right now. But overall, I am feeling a sense of ease. I feel like if you've done the work for your health, if you've done the things, like you've swapped out the oils for like the good oils, like the seed oils for like the avocado oil, if you have been taking those walks like after you eat, or showing up to those Pilates classes or showing up to those yoga classes, if you've been consistently showing up and doing the thing, you are definitely reaping the benefits on a health and bodily level, which means, maybe a balanced circadian rhythm, you're getting enough sleep, you're feeling well rested, you have enough energy during the day. Overall, your mood is balanced. Overall, your gut health is good, your digestion is good. Like, I know these benefits can seem overlooked, but don't overlook them, because it's actually something to be really, really grateful for, and it is part of being a healthy person. Is health is wealth, and truly, if you are healthy right now, definitely give yourself a pat on the back, because you put in the effort to be healthy. And if you're not feeling super healthy right now, specifically any issues with the limbs, the joints, the gut, things like this, infections, whatever is coming up for you, if it feels amplified right now, like any physical pains or any sense of stagnation in the body, poor health, fog, fatigue, it could be very subtle things that are kind of cueing you, like now is the time to kind of start really taking a look at where your health is going and what you need to undo. Like, there could be a lot more to undo than there is to do, if that makes sense, right? Maybe taking things out of your diet, maybe taking certain habits out of your day. It could be smoking, it could be drinking, whatever it is. Like, obviously old habits die hard, is a saying. But, if you are committed to being your most vibrant, beautiful self, as you are worthy of feeling that way at all times, then I think that you are capable of doing all the changes that you need to make, and also appreciating your body just a little bit more for all the things that it does that seem so basic but very fundamental to your happiness and peace. Virgo ascendant, hello. This full moon's happening in your 5th house. I like this. Creative projects, art, family, friends. You're a type of person that can actually turn art into a business rather than just a hobby. You can turn literally something that would be seen as like normal fun or pleasure into a business, like being a club owner, or I could even see people being like doulas with this placement. But specifically for this full moon, I am feeling like a level of alleviation, a level of satisfaction, and a level of you can go and have fun and relax type of energy, because you do put in the work. When you do the work, you really do the work on that external level, on a material level. And I think that you do deserve to lavish in some of the things you've been working on a little bit. Take a break, take a vacation, take a trip, make some love, have some fun, be safe about it, of course. Be safe, be extremely safe, because this is happening in your house of fertility. So pregnancies are possible. That's always something to be super careful about, is when the new moon or full moon are transiting your 5th house and you are not wanting to get pregnant and you are a womb holder. It's incredibly important to, avoid being unsafe at any cost during this time. So be super safe in that way, but have a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun, bask in pleasure. And it may even feel a little uncomfortable at times for this 5th house to be having full fun, full pleasure, or it could even feel like, I'm being hedonistic, or it's out of your discipline. But put that in your schedule for the week or for the weekend. Have some fun. Okay, Libra ascendant. This full moon's happening in the 4th house. For those of you that listen to the readings, I am a Libra ascendant, so this always feels like a very personal reading for us. So listen in, because it has just felt like 6 months ago, all of those homecomings with family, all of those revelations about inner child work, paternal, this is just so much over the last 6 months when it comes to family, roots, stability, emotional stability, like where you belong, where you came from, have just like really like reared their head for you to look at and to see and to make peace with. And I really encourage you to kind of give yourself a pat on the back and to kind of remain in a very safe space during this time, because this can be a very highly triggering time. Maybe some cyclical thoughts regarding your parents or your trauma or your family, whatever it is, like some cyclical things that, you know, you have to work it with on, you know, during certain seasons of your life, may be coming up again. Especially if you're like close to your family, or like you're trying to detach from your family right now, whatever the case is where you're at with them. It just feels like, yeah, it could be triggering just to be around a specific person or parent or caregiver, because certain things that are deep in your subconscious may be triggered. But I also want to give you gratitude for even making it to this video and kind of facing those things and being strong enough to have endured your childhood the way that you did, and to come to this full moon, this culmination, because I think you can start with this full moon being in 1 degree. I think you really can start on a new foot right now with how you feel about your family and how you want to feel about your family, and kind of no longer taking on the projections of the family unit, but rather, you know, starting kind of a new path for how you want family dynamics to go and how you want safety to be, emotional connection, communication. You can set the tone for that by, you know, being that in your family. Even if when you're tried, your patience is tried, whatever it is, you can be that. So remember to be that during this time, because all the Cancer as well, the Sun, Venus, Mercury is in your 10th house. So there is some public visibility happening right now as well. So be careful during this full moon being visibly available for the public eye right now, because people are watching. And with everything going on internally, sometimes it just feels like, at least for this moment in time, it just feels like what you're feeling really, really deeply may not fully translate out, or may not just be safe to share with everybody right now. So try to keep what you know needs to be sacred and private to yourself during these times, and let the tides roll over. I think you'll see the value in making this a special and intimate time for yourself as time goes on. Hello, Scorpio ascendant. How are you? This full moon is happening in your 3rd house. And I really like this because I feel like Scorpios are always so private. Our Scorpios are always so private. No matter how much fire they have, how much air they have, like that Scorpio ascendant likes to keep it private. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Never gonna knock your privacy. Your privacy is sacred. But, you know, I'm just feeling like it is time to communicate something. And your depth right now, the level of depth that you can communicate at right now is astronomically high. There's a level of in-tuneness that you have right now to the people around you, specifically your siblings, your neighbors. There's kind of like this, like it's kind of like this feeling of like you're exactly where you need to be right now, in a sense. And even though, you know, you're working like through things, right? You're working through things. You're actually maybe like really hustling right now, or really getting at it right now, or like really like the everyday grind, the everyday, you know, maybe the trips to work are like really long. I'm kind of feeling like maybe if you could change your route to work, that would really help you, or maybe change how much time you have before you go to work, or maybe spend some more time with siblings. And if being around siblings is triggering, I would really recommend contemplating that rather than reacting, and just put that in your back pocket, because you just never know you're going to get triggered until you get triggered, right? But otherwise, I'm really loving this transit. I think I think it's what's Scorpio. I think it's what you needed a little bit. I think it's what you needed a little bit, because I think you can loosen the grips of things a little bit, and, notice that you are surrounded by the right people and you are in the right place at the right time, and, you know who to trust, you know who not to trust. And if there's a conversation that you need to have with somebody that you do trust, that, you've been holding back, I think this is a good time to be received, and even practice that communication of like, hey, I want to say something. Would you really listen to me right now? Because you can be a very receptive listener or take in a lot, but, sometimes you just want to speak and just be heard, because, you can speak with such authority as well. Enjoy this full moon. It does feel really benevolent for you, and I will see you in the next reading. Sagittarius ascendant. This full moon is happening in your second house of money, and I have seen a lot of my Sagittarius risings actually getting a promotion, changing jobs, getting gifts. So there is an opportunity to get a material gift, even if it's $10, even if you find $1 on the ground. Take note of that. It's those little things that really help you manifest more abundance in your life, is just noticing how it builds up. And right now is a really great time to get started on your financial goals, or to feel joyous about your financial goals. I know it's never fun to feel joyous about debt or rent or bills, but in a way you can be, because if you can pay for anything at all, if you can pay for your cell phone bill, that's a reason to be grateful, right? It's almost being grateful for your bills, being grateful for your responsibilities, because it means that you have something. It means that you're building something. It means that you have the capacity to be a responsible human. It means that you're literally entrusted by yourself, by the divine, by your angels, by your higher self, to use your money responsibly. And, I am feeling you just really are this grounded person that really has taken the reins of your financial life. And if you haven't quite yet, then this is your opportunity to feel into that energy of what it would be like if you did really take hold of your financial life and really got all your financial goals together, because it would honestly ground you and make your life so much more open for gifts. So enjoy this full moon, and if you can also take this full moon as a level of self-esteem, self-worth, grounding that in. And just know that you are worthy, you are capable, and you've done it before, you can do it again. Okay. Capricorn rising, Capricorn ascendant. Hi, Capricorn. This is about you. This is about you. But this full moon is not about what you've done, what you built, your family, because I know you, Capricorn. You look at the things around you and they mean a lot to you. That you see what you've built, what you've made, if you're a mother, what you've birthed, and you're like, yep, that's me. Because it took work, it took diligence, and you're like, that's me. Because I built that, because I did that, because I accomplished that. And I'm not taking that away from you. That's definitely an extension of your resilience, your endurance, your stamina. But let's get a little bit more intimate here, Capricorn, because you can really build anything, and you have built it. And I think it is a great time to celebrate what you've built, but not because of what it looks like on the outside, or who's praising you, or who's acknowledging it, but because you really are this king or this queen or this emperor, empress. You really are capable, and you have this kind of drive that could build worlds. So definitely I would recommend kind of journaling about your more intimate traits of your personality, and kind of how the intrinsic value of your personality traits and your soul traits kind of translate out to create these beautiful things, or these things outside of you, because everything external is temporary. And I know that's sometimes hard for you, because when you really put your mind to it, you have created such a beautiful thing. And I'm sure around you there's a level of, whether you bought a new car, whether you just finished a degree, like you have accomplishments surrounding you, and it feels like sometimes you always want to climb or build. But right now, just with the Venus in your 7th house for the next few weeks, there's going to feel like an inclination of like wanting to bond with others as well. So that's why I'm saying take note of your intrinsic value, because also you have to remember that other people have a very deep intrinsic value. That's an emotional, spiritual value that can really enhance your life, regardless of if it's enhancing your bank account, if it's enhancing, your material possessions. Sometimes that's really superficial, and I think you, of all people, know that because you have achieved plenty enough in your lifetime, and seen enough people around you with material things still not happy. So just remember that, and as you nourish yourself and give yourself that nourishment, give yourself that kind of like soul time, maybe even yoga, whatever it is, like really just giving yourself some gentleness more than usual, you'll notice that people around you will be able to do that more for you as well. Okay, Aquarius ascendant, this full moon is happening in your 12th house. So on an unconscious level, you have a lot of this pressure building. There's a lot of like society's pressures kind of unconsciously telling you who you should be, who you shouldn't be. And in a way, you may unconsciously adhere to that, not because you want to be like anyone else, because you are truly one of one. You are very different, and you are very humanitarian. You do care a lot about people. But sometimes that can translate out as, you're carrying some kind of family weight, some kind of societal weight of, I'm supposed to feel this. Well, I have all this. Aren't I supposed to be happy? Or like, I will, like, on the outside, like, I'm beautiful. So like, why on the inside I'm such an anxious mess? Like, it's, it can feel kind of like this cognitive dissonance. So I just wanted to tell you, please be gentle with yourself, and, be focused on health and kind of creating stability with your routine just through this moon, because it's just going to bring up some spiritual cleanings and clearings that maybe have already cleared, and maybe you're feeling super at peace with your soul, and you feel like you've really done the work and released some of these like societal or family projections, and you're kind of like being your own person, building your own person, and you're seeing what you can accomplish, and that means a lot to your soul. So I'm super proud of you for that as well. But have a beautiful full moon, and be gentle with yourself again, and remember to make some kind of routine so you can feel stable during this time. Pisces ascendant, hello. So this full moon is happening in your 10th house, I'm so sorry about that. It's happening in your 11th. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Good. I'm glad this is going through 11th. Oh my gosh, because I'm pretty sure the next, because your 10th is actually Aquarius. No, your 10th is Sagittarius. Okay. So the last full moon was in your 10th, and now we're kind of moving into your 11th. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I do this all in my head, by the way. Anyways, so with this in your 11th, I'm feeling a positive resonance. I'm feeling as if your dreams really have come true, or they are coming true before your eyes. Maybe a travel, a trip, a friendship that you didn't believe you could have before is becoming realized. This could even mean like a baby is being born, or potentially like a trip, like a dream trip is about to happen, like some kind of dream, some kind of far out reality that maybe you didn't know you could manifest is manifesting on some level. And maybe it's time like to just bask in that and sink deeper in your body of what you're feeling around that, because you really are in alignment. You're on the right frequency, and you have a lot that you've dreamt about and that you're dreaming about that really could come true or is coming true. And on top of that, I am feeling a level of friendship and camaraderie. I feel like you do have allies on your side more than you know, and at the same time, you've created these allies through your own goodness, through your own frequency, through your own care and meticulous picking and choosing of who you surround yourself with. So that's super amazing. I hope you just enjoy, and this isn't necessarily a 5th house transit, but all of the Cancer in your 5th house with the Mercury and the Venus, it's feeling like a 5th house transit. So it's feeling like you have some 5th to 11th house. So this is just a very positive energy. This is a playful energy. This is a game energy with the 5th house, the Cancer in your 5th house. So I really hope you just bask in this mood, and maybe go out with a group of friends, or potentially, do like some kind of like Zoom call meeting with like a bunch of yogis, or film a podcast. Like, you can be super creative with this time as well, and just communicate and connect with so many different kinds of people that really expand your worldview and really give you a greater appreciation for all the things that you've built so far to get to this point in your life. So I'm really hoping you're reflecting and basking in that. And I will see you in the next reading. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. I'm about to edit this all and post it now. And hopefully whoever this comes to, you feel blessed and you feel loved. This is a general reading. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can always DM me on Instagram at Sophia_astrology. And I also have my Calendly link in the bio, or in the description, and in my bio on my Instagram. I do offer 30-minute readings, 1 hour and 2 hour, 2 hour max. But if you're hesitant, or if you just want something like a splash of spiritual knowledge and a splash of teaching, 30 minutes will really work with you. If you want to go super, super, super deep and dive into the energy, into the feelings, into the complexities, and kind of go into more of a therapeutic and like almost like massaging your mind type of session with me, then the 2 hours for you. Otherwise, the 1 hour is typically what people book, and it kind of just gets to all of the like bulk of it, and you generally don't need another reading for like minimum 3 to 6 months. Generally, I would recommend getting a reading once a year. I don't think you need a reading every week. Some people are more inclined, even Pisces risings, right? Like, or even Sag risings, more inclined to get readings, more inclined to search out tarot readers or astrologers. And I just think it depends on your design and who you are, if that resonates for you. And at times, sometimes it just resonates to stay away from readers and stay away from psychics and all of these things, to get back into your own aura. So wherever you're at, I respect. And if you are feeling called to work with me, I am here to hold support and go into your astrology in depth with you. And sometimes with the 1 hour, if we have time, if we have extra time, I will pull up your human design. That's not often. That might be a treat. Otherwise, if we were doing the 2 hour, we will pull up your human design and take a look at it. So have a great full moon, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Or not see you, because I don't do video yet, but I will hear you, or no, you will hear me in the next video, I suppose. All right, good night, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.